but can you talk about your bench and in particular what Marcus Smart gave you in the fourth quarter?
Well, I thought he was pretty good the whole night. He obviously got the 3 fouls in the first half, but he was pretty locked in. And then, the tip in the first half was a great example of that. But the bench, I thought that the game started and we got great looks and we missed them, and it kind of affected our, first unit's stamina as far as playing at the level that they usually play at. And I thought our bench kind of came in and lifted us up a little bit. And then when the first unit came back in, they were great the rest of the game. Hard game to win, hard team to play against, especially when you start out shooting the ball the way that we did. But we were pretty locked in defensively most of the night.
Two things. Talk about Evan's game, and also were you grateful to be only down 3 at the half after everything?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and two of our leading scorers, Isaiah and Avery, are combined for 4, and our starters, I think, were 5 for 26 or something like that in the first half. And so, you're down 3, and you feel like you're lucky as heck to be down 3. But again, that's kind of what this team has been doing, and to their credit, it's easy to let a game when you're not playing well affect you. To their credit, they just kind of stuck with it and stayed the course, and all of them made huge plays in the second half, and particularly, Isaiah making those plays, driving to the basket. Jay Crowder made some big plays, and I thought Sully was great on the glass in the last 5 minutes of the game. I felt like he got every rebound there was.
Brad, you guys have won a bunch in a row at home now. You were kind of mediocre at home last year. I think one game above 500. You were below 500 before this streak started. Did you talk about that with the guys at all? Or
No.
Just
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we covered it.
smooth.
Said go get them. No, I mean, the deal was, Steve, we don't talk about where we play. The only time we've ever talked about it is in this context, but it wasn't necessarily at that time. It's just about how, Boston fans expect to see, a certain level of camaraderie and work ethic when you're out here in front of them, and that's what is expected of us. But that's been the same message for my entire time. It's not one that we gave when we were whatever we were. So you play between the lines. I don't know why. We were below 500 at that point, but we've played better on the road and at home in the past month and a half or so.
Was there anything you guys weren't doing at home coming into this? I mean, in terms of expecting to play well instead of going out and doing it?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't really look at, like I've said this before. I don't talk about home and road with our team much because, right when you start talking about home, then you take home for granted. And right when you start talking about road, you create this monster that's not really there. You play between the lines, and you have to play well to win in this league or any high level of sports, I think.
Coach, with this Miami Heat team, we all know how well they are at protecting the rim, not just Whiteside, but to still be able to outscore them with points in the paint. Clearly, you guys were able to finish. Talk a little about your team's ability to finish despite some really good shot blockers on this team.
I mean, I sure felt like he got most of them when he was in there, man. He blocked. Felt like he blocked everything. He was unbelievable. The one where he caught up to Jonas on the drive was an incredible block. He's a force down there. He's hard to deal with. What we tried to do was spread him out with Tyler and Sully shooting, and those guys had their moments doing that. And then tried to play more 5-out motion with our center at the top of the key, so at least he had to guard the ball, like late in the game when Isaiah was cutting and scoring and doing all that stuff. So you just try to draw him away from the basket, because if he's at the basket, you're in trouble.
How's Avery Bradley?
He twisted his ankle. He said he was fine to finish. I don't have any update from there. We'll see. But I would assume he's fine, but I don't know that.
And Coach, you had as you mentioned earlier, you had a lot of guys off the bench who really contributed. Tyler Zeller being among them. Just talk a little bit about just what he was able to provide for you guys tonight at both ends of the floor.
Well, I mean, I thought that he, he came in and hit that first jump shot when we were struggling to make shots, and he puts pressure on the defense usually with his rim runs and rolls. He got one rim run in transition. He rolled a couple of times, and a couple of times we finished, and a couple of times he sucks the defense in so that somebody else can make a play. I thought he was really solid, and I thought, it's a game where, you have to hit or be a threat from that 16-foot-plus range because of Whiteside's strengths.
Is that maybe the biggest area of growth in this game, just the fact that he's more of a face-up shooter now than before?
I don't know. I think he's always been pretty good at it. I don't know what his numbers were in Cleveland. I didn't even look. But I always knew that he was a reasonable shooter. Not a reasonable shooter, a good shooter, because I've watched him shoot since he was 16 years old. So, I think that he's very, very capable of that. We had him in the corner some tonight. So, as far as spacing goes, we feel very comfortable if he were to catch it in the corner and shoot a three there. He's worked hard on that. And at the same time, he doesn't find himself in the corner very often. We were just trying again to try to figure out ways to get Whiteside away from the basket.
Coach, you talked a little bit about how some of your normal shooters weren't on throughout the entire game, but how did during that fourth quarter run especially, did Jared kind of use a lot of just effort plays to kind of take control of the game where Whiteside was kind of controlling it before with some of his block shots?
I felt like everybody played really hard through that stretch. I felt like Jonas and Tyler held down the fort with a couple of vertical plays in the paint, and then I thought, Jared, it seemed like I said, got every rebound late. I just thought he was really active. Finished plays on offense multiple times today. He caught it at the rim. He recognized that Whiteside was there, and he made a play for somebody else. That play at the end of the first half where he rebounded it, kicked it out, extra pass to Avery. That was a heck of a play and a huge play for us. So, he's got a good awareness. He's a smart guy, and he's a heck of a rebounder.